We are live.
Well, hello. We are live.
How late are we? 1 minute late.
1 minute late. We are late. We are sorry.
We will make up for that 1 minute.
Yeah, we'll go 1 minute later. We'll be done by what? 8:01 our time. In a good world.
Yeah, we'll try.
We'll try. Okay. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to show you my sourdough bread. Okay. Hi, everyone. How are you? I hope everybody can hear me okay. And if you are new or just tuning in, I'm going to say this a couple of times during the video so that there's no confusion. This is live, so it's totally different than one of my edited videos on YouTube. Okay, so it's a totally different format and it's not for everyone, and that's okay. If you like edited videos with specific recipes, then you can check out my YouTube channel because there's tons of them. This is a video live that I don't even know what I'm cooking because Jeff went to the grocery store. I don't even see ingredients.
I got them over
here. Jeff went to the grocery store.
Oh, was I supposed to buy some?
Yeah. And he gets ingredients for me to make something for dinner, and I don't even know what they are. So I can't have a recipe ready for you guys for this one because I don't know what I'm cooking yet. Anyway, all right, let's say hi to people. Oh, and that's another thing. Is a lot of times I will be interacting with people that are commenting, and I will be saying hi to everybody. That's sort of the purpose of this. It's an engaged live stream. Okay. So totally different. Okay. Totally different than my recorded videos. Hi, Barbara. How are you? And hi, Larry. How are you? Hi, Craig. Good to see you. Hi, Barbara. And John, good morning. And I know John's going to be getting out a little bit early. So he won't be here for the whole time, but thank you for tuning in. And let's see. And Leanne, hi, how are you?
It's George.
And George. So if you want to get in any smart comments, George, to John, do them earlier rather than later. Just joking. Hi, Kat, how are you? Okay, Kat, I'm reading that.
Oh, let me go back.
Sorry. He's fast scroller. You don't have to put it on the screen. I just wanted to read it.
Okay.
Okay. Your grandson had a football game. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing wrong, like going wrong. That's why I said to Jeff to take it off the screen, just in case it was something wrong. But I guess if you're posting publicly on YouTube, it's not going to be that private, right? All right. Hi, Kat. How are you? Okay, Kat's making sourdough bread. And you're on the final stretch and fold. I'll tell you about mine in just a minute. Of course, Jeff is like, it's burning, but it really didn't burn. Anyway, let's see. Hi, and George, I said hi. And wait a minute. George is talking. Yeah, go ahead and put that up there. Okay. Really wanted to make the one pot pork chop recipe today, but looked in the freezer and no chops left. Well, next time you go to the grocery store, you can pick them up. That is a really easy one. And so good. Okay.
Christina.
Hi, Christina. How are you? Thank you. Hi, I just got done reading comments on YouTube, which is like something I should never do. Not from you guys, but from other people. I should never do that before I go live because my brain is spinning. Thinking, did I do that in the video? Did I not say that in the video? Did I not give that instruction in the video? And so anyway, my mind's spinning.
Raven.
Hi, Raymond. Oh, no, Raven. Hi, Raven. How are you? And hi, Faith. And Roaming with Rover. How are you? Welcome. Hi, Bonnie. How are you? And Joe, how are you? And hi, Mare. How are you?
Did you get
and
Joanne?
Tommy,
Did you get
and
Joanne?
And Debbie. Good to see you. I hope you're doing okay, Debbie. Hi, Joan. How are you? And Kathy and Judy. And let's see. I hope everyone in Northwest Florida will be safe. Oh, yes. Jeff was telling me about that. I don't know much about it. I don't watch.
I don't even know where it is. I just know it was in the Gulf. So
yeah. He was telling me a little bit about it today because he went to Nashville. He had a dentist appointment and he went to Nashville and he had to drive because of the weather. So, Christina already made the pork chops and gravy yesterday and my family loves it. That's awesome. That is awesome. It's funny because that recipe I made for my residents at my assisted living. And it was one of their favorites, but like I like dirty every dish making it because I would make the mashed potatoes on the stove. I would make the I would sear the pork chops and everything in on the stove too in another pan, and then I would like create the gravy. Then I would transfer all that to the slow cooker because the slow cooker that I had didn't have a sear saute at that time. So it took me, and it took all day, right? Pretty much. I mean, after you got in the slow cooker, I didn't have to fool with it or anything. But when I was like, I could do this in the pressure cooker and then put the potatoes on top, and it worked. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a game changer. And I saw a question I wanted to address. Oh, candy making. Can you go up just a little bit more?
Oh.
Hi, Tammy. I love it when you make candy. I have got some candy recipes coming for the holidays. So I'm working on an old-fashioned chocolate fudge, and I'm trying to get it to where it is timed out, not so much temperature. I mean, temperature is important, but I'm trying to time it out in a few different appliances. One being the Possible Pro cooker, which it's a nice size for the fudge. And then I'm going to try it on the stove as well. So I'm trying to get that out. The thing with fudge, when you make it the old-fashioned way, is especially chocolate fudge, the timing for when you start to beat it is critical. And so I'm just working that out. But I've made how many batches? 3 or 4 batches of the fudge. Yeah.
They're getting better. Good. They get better.
Except for the last one. The last one was too grainy, and that's because I started beating it too soon. So, once I get that perfected, I will share that. And then I'm going to make some pecan caramel clusters. And if you have any other ideas for candy for this holiday season, let me know. Hi, Andrea. How are you? And Juliet, how are you? And Shelsley, how are you?
Did you get Tracy?
And hi, Tracy. And hi, Joni and Hope. Gosh, tons of people. We better get going.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe, did I say
you did?
Joe?
You got Joe.
Okay. Yeah, Terry, chocolate fudge. It's coming. It's coming. All right. This still needs to cool, so I'm going to talk about this in a minute. And I'm going to put this over. This pot is not hot. So why don't we get into the ingredients?
Let's get into the ingredients.
And I have, what I'm drinking here tonight is a little bit of bourbon and some homemade apple cider that I made. I'm not totally thrilled with the recipe yet, so it's not coming out quite yet. But not the bourbon. I didn't make the bourbon, but the apple cider.
All right.
Pretty tasty. Okay.
Are you
I'm
ready?
going to close my eyes. We'll see if I can guess.
Okay, we're going to start with the protein.
Okay. Shrimp. Scallops. Seafood. Shrimp. Oh, this is new. Jeff doesn't even like shrimp. What are you doing?
All right, and
okay, Jeff doesn't think shrimp is a meal.
It's just more shrimp.
More shrimp.
Yeah. So I'll explain that in a minute. The reason I have 2 things of shrimp.
Okay, we've got 2 things of shrimp. Okay.
I'll explain that when we get to the recipe.
Okay. I love shrimp.
All right, so we're going to get cut right to the chase. Let me show this. Go ahead and turn it around a little bit. No, turn it back over. There you go. And then just twist it.
Twist it?
I'm just trying to get so people can see what it is.
Oh, I'm like, I don't think I can twist this, Joe, but it feels like it's metal. I have no idea. There's like a thing on top. I mean, like, I want to say sardines, but there's no way. Oh, okay. It's seasoning. I would have never guessed that in a million years. I would have never guessed that. That's hysterical.
What kind of seasoning is it?
Creole. Gus, you got to get down.
All right. These next 3 sort of go together in this world that we live in.
A pepper, an onion.
And what would the last one be?
Celery. Did you get new celery?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I think I forgot to order it.
Well, there's plenty there, so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay. Next one. Incoming.
Okay.
Another surprising ingredient.
Yes. Okay. So this would be probably chicken stock. Seafood stock. Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal.
All right. And this is where it's going to maybe not throw you off track a little bit.
Well, it's a can.
Good guess. But today's ingredient is a
Tomatoes. Okay.
can. All right.
That's going to throw me off?
Maybe not. Okay.
I don't know what I'm making. Okay. Well, it's going to be rice, I'm sure, right? Okay. Okay.
And only because I didn't know if you had any of this, so I bought you some.
Oh, I still have the last package. Yeah, of the 3. So let's use the older one.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I saw it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, green onions. Okay.
Obviously a garnish. Okay, I got one more ingredient in here, but I want you to kind of think about what you would do with these ingredients. And I'll give you a hint. It's something we've talked about, but we've never tasted it. We've never ordered it at a restaurant, and we've never made it. Obviously, if we've never tasted it.
Oh, I'm confused. Kat, I've done gumbo. I've done shrimp etouffee. I mean, I've tasted it.
You've tasted it?
I've ordered it.
Oh.
Or duck etouffee.
Duck etouffee. So I was aiming for shrimp etouffee.
But I don't know how to make that at all.
I can walk you through it.
Oh, okay, good.
And you can't have shrimp etouffee without a little garlic bread. So
But
I got
there's missing stuff, right?
probably some seasonings like some cayenne, but a lot of the seasonings will be in here. And
Isn't there cream in etouffee?
no, it's actually a tomato-based
School me, honey.
It's going to be like a stew, not as thick as a gumbo, but not as liquidy as a soup. So it's more the texture or the I guess the liquidity is going to be more like a pasta sauce, like a spaghetti sauce.
I think I'm going to screw this up.
Maybe not.
Hi, Jen. How are you? Okay, this sounds amazing.
So
now
I will give you a hint. Oh,
okay.
We also need butter. I will get you butter, oil.
Okay.
And we got salt over here.
Okay.
And I'll look through my list to make sure that there was a couple other things that I think I didn't buy because you had them already. But it does include a roux, but it's not a dark roux like a gumbo. It's more of a blonde roux.
Okay.
In an etouffee.
I am like lost. I mean, I'm not exactly lost.
So
I can
let me look at my list.
Start. But I am. Hi, Jack. How are you?
I know we need butter.
I think I'm going to screw this up. I am trying to think. Okay, so what is the reason for the 2 kinds of shrimp?
Okay. I guess everybody can hear me since I have my wireless microphone on. But the reason there's 2 types of shrimp is because I had originally bought a pound of shrimp thinking that there's only 2 of us.
Yeah.
There's only 2 of us. So why would we need that much shrimp? But then as I started reading more throughout the day today and stuff, I realized that everybody's recipes called for 2 pounds of shrimp. And then I also thought if it comes out good, we can always share this.
Okay.
So there's your butter. Do you want some olive oil?
All right. Anybody out there that knows how to make this?
Do you want canola for your, are you going to use that?
Jeff, I don't really know what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
I really don't. Because I have never built this dish. I just am trying to think it through. Now, the rice is not usually in it, right? Because
you pour it over the rice.
You pour it over the rice. So I've got to do 2 different cooking techniques here. So I have to do a pot and pot for the rice. And I'm just trying to think, like, if I build the roux in the bottom of the pot, I think I know. I think I know what I can do. Okay, I think I have an idea. I think I know what I'm going to do. Okay, now I think I know how I'm going to set this up in the Ninja. What I don't know is, I mean, obviously I know to saute all these, right? I know that. But it just seems like I'm missing ingredients. Is this really all it could be?
Let me double check.
Let's run through them, because I would think, meanwhile, while we run through them, I can start prepping.
So I'm going to just walk down my recipe. Oh, flour, obviously.
Right. Is this washed already?
Nope.
So I am thinking about.
I'm going to grab you a couple bay leaves.
Okay. Just thinking about how thin this is going to be with the ingredients that I have here. So that's why I'm thinking, oh, the roux is going to thicken it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want about a half a cup of, or a quarter of a cup of flour, or what?
I honestly, let me think that through. I got to think about how much liquid I'm going to need in this pot to steam, because I'm going to have to steam the rice on top. So I'm thinking about that. So I would definitely need a quarter cup.
Okay.
Definitely. And I also need to sharpen my knives. I'll put that on my list.
Dried thyme is the only other thing that was on the list besides the flour. Yeah.
Well, this seems like such an easy recipe. I thought it was way more complicated. Anybody know how to make shrimp etouffee? Give me some pointers. Help a girl out.
So I will say that I kind of got the direction from two chefs who I think you respect.
Who?
And one would be the Pioneer Woman.
Okay.
And the other one would be Paula Deen.
Okay.
And they both sort of jive.
What about Emerald?
Oh, well.
I mean, Emerald.
Well, you can kick it up a notch if you want.
Emerald, right? Okay. Well, that's what they say. They say it's this easy. Gosh. Okay. I can't believe it's this easy.
Well, I still got a comment up here. Let me turn that comment off. Sorry
Ooh,
about that.
this is a powerful onion. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. KG says it's so nice to be able to hear you.
Oh, yeah. How is the audio, by the way? Because we're both using wireless microphones now.
This is a tough one. It's a tough onion. I don't usually cry with onions.
I wonder why that one.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm all teared up. This is not really the right knife, guys. So, it's okay though. I'm going to make it work. It is the one I asked Jeff to clean for me, but I'm just going to do it so I don't cut my fingers off. And I don't really care how big they are. Not my fingers, the onions. Okay.
So George missed what it's called. It's shrimp etouffee. Yeah, put your hands up by your eyes. That's a good idea.
Right. Did somebody say, is it spicy?
It can be.
I guess it can be as spicy as you
Some
want
people put
right?
hot sauce into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now this is confession time here. I have never in my life tasted this.
Now, if you want to recreate that by
no, I'll use it.
Everybody that I saw, all the recipes I saw, they used some sort of pre-made.
Oh my gosh, I am crying. Salt, red pepper, black pepper, chili powder, chili pepper spices. Oh my gosh. I can't.
Wash your hands off.
I can't even. It's not my hands. It's the onion things going to my eyes.
Well, I was wondering
that was a rough one.
If it's still on your fingers.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just, it was just splattered up there. Usually I don't have that happen. All right. So it's got salt in it. So I got to be careful because I don't usually cook with these things. So I don't know what it, can you open that?
Yeah.
And
the butter on one of the
I'm not using
recipes,
good knife technique.
On one of the recipes, the butter was supposed to be unsalted. I gave you salted, but I don't think you have any unsalted.
Yeah, that's fine. I am not using very good knife technique, guys. So don't watch what I'm doing. Close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
Don't do it this way.
Do you want the spoon side or the?
Now my nose is running. Oh my
You want to
gosh.
sprinkle or spoon it?
First, I'm gonna taste it. So just sprinkle some in there so I can taste it, and then I need to get something to. Oh my gosh! I can't believe
I'm getting it too. That is
Are
a
you?
strong.
It is the strongest onion I think I've ever come across. Oh my gosh! All right.
Oh, you can add white wine. Kat says.
Oh my gosh, that's spicy. I mean, not spicy. That is so salty. Holy. Oh my. I'm so glad I taste. Oh my goodness, that is salty.
Is it? Let me taste it.
Oh my. I don't even know if I can use it. Oh my goodness. That is a salt lick. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I mean, oh my goodness. No, I'm going to do my own.
Yeah, that is super
Oh
salty.
my goodness, that's salty. Whoa.
Yeah, I would even.
I'm not even
I would
gonna use
never use that stuff.
No, well, don't say that because I'm sure a lot of people love it. But whoa.
Well, I'm not saying.
You're not going to use it. I'm not going to use it.
I'm not going to use it.
I'm not going to use it either. Whoa. Oh my gosh, I need like a gallon of water after that one. And I salt. I'm a salter. But Tony, my friend, this is out of control.
Yeah, calm down, Tony.
Wow.
All right, let me get you.
All right, let's get some seasoning. So
some water.
let's get some chili powder. Let's get some cayenne, some salt, some pepper, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion powder. Let's see what else ingredients are. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see. Chili powder. Oh. Silicone dioxide. We don't need that. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's good. Sorry to everybody who loves that. Okay, I don't. Oh.
Here, have some water.
My goodness. That is horrible. So I'm going a step further. I can't help myself. That's the worst thing I've ever tasted, I think. Oh, thank goodness.
George says a blunt knife will cause the tears with the onions.
Well, there you go. That's exactly what's happening here because my knife is not sharpened. Okay, can you give this a wash? We'll do two.
Kat said something about sauteing the shrimp first.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
They are frozen.
I gotta get over this stuff. Okay. Whoa. Mama, that is salty.
Right, what were some of your ingredients you wanted to
Chili
make a
powder, cayenne pepper. I've got regular pepper here. Half of a teaspoon of regular pepper. I think I'm gonna need salt. No, I don't. I might need salt. Okay, 1 teaspoon of salt.
Do you want
Half a teaspoon of
paprika?
pepper, garlic, onion. I think I'm gonna have to turn this off. I still have to slice my onions, but no, I mean these things, whatever they're called. Okay. All right. Bonnie's saying I can hear you both. Jeff is louder, and Louise is a little echoey. All right. I'll tell Jeff that when he gets back. And I'm a little echoey, and this knife is very dull. I can feel it. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if you needed all this stuff. I got you paprika.
Okay.
I got you chili powder.
Okay.
You wanted garlic?
Garlic and onion powder and cayenne, which I think is going to be over there in that other area there.
Over here in this room?
No, over. I think it's over there where I was working on spice blends. Okay. Whew, I'm just getting over that salt. All right, and then the garlic. There's garlic over there. Chili powder. Did you get that? Okay, good. Thanks.
Fresh garlic.
Yeah, there's fresh garlic. So look right in that bin on the right in front of you. There you go. Yep. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, half of a teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of chili powder. Not much of this. I'm not going for spicy this late at night. So maybe 1/4 teaspoon. Oh, wow.
Are you still onioning it up?
Oh. And then garlic. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I should already have all this done. Let's do 1 of garlic and 1 of, I hope this is enough seasoning. Oh, what's happening?
Nothing.
I hope this is enough seasoning for this. I think it is, though. I hope so. If not, I'll add more at the end. Okay. You want to read some comments? Because I'm not going to be able to look at the screen right now.
Is that Uncle Tony's Creole? I think it is. So my microphone's a little bit louder. That's no problem. I'm going to fix that.
I think maybe it was a good thing, though. I
What?
think that your microphone was louder.
Well, they should be the same.
I should have tasted that seasoning blend before I put it in there, shouldn't I have? I did not, though. That is bad on me. All right, now I'm going to get the flour in as soon as this.
Okay, my microphone should be a little bit better.
All right, I put in 4 tablespoons of butter. We're going to put in, I guess, just 1 of these, right? Oh, you want me to make both?
I think it'll work for both.
Okay, they're going in frozen. It's fine.
Kat says she uses Tony.
That's why my knife's dull.
Tony's in her gumbo, and a true Cajun taught her how to cook Cajun food.
Well, I apologize to all Cajun people out there. I'm not using it. It's too salty for me. Yes, I'm doing this all weird. So everybody's probably cringing, especially if they made this before. They're like, what are you doing? What are you doing, lady?
All that matters is how it
I
tastes.
should have put the flour in before I put the shrimp in, but I didn't. So we'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Juliet says we use slap your mama too.
Whew, okay. I'll try that.
A couple people say that they prefer slap your mama.
Okay, I'll try that. I just can't do that one. It's just too salty for me. That's all I taste is salt and cayenne pepper.
Oh, Kat says she's used to that flavor down near Louisiana.
What, salt or cayenne pepper?
I think.
Or just the whole blend?
The Uncle Tony's or whatever it is.
Oh, people rave about it. That's why I was saying, Jeff, well, we don't want to, I'm not trying to bash anything, right? I'm not really not.
It doesn't smell bad.
It's
super salty.
I just can't do all that. That salt's just too much for me. So personal preference. Okay, so this is how I screwed up. Because I'm kind of not in the right brain zone right now, I put the butter in. I was meant to put in the flour then and make the roux, but I didn't. Instead, what I did was I put in the frozen shrimp. So that's fine. They're going to thaw and everything, but now I have a disaster in the bottom of the pot. So it's okay, though. We're just going to do this a very different way. So we're going to call this not shrimp etouffee in the traditional sense. We're just going to call this a shrimp dip dish that Louise put together incorrectly. And it's still going to be delicious, so I'm not even worried about it. Not even worried about it. Not at all. All right, so now I'm going to need to rinse the rice. We will only make a cup of this rice, so...
Do we have a...
yeah, the bottom drawer there. Mm-hmm. All right, so about a cup. Oh, that looks good. So rinse that until it flows cleanly. And then I will put it in here. And I need a rack. And I need, whoops. Oh no, Jeff, I did that same thing again. Okay, but I got it. And then I need a lid. All right, we're almost ready to go under steam. Just want to kind of get this flour incorporated a little bit. Put in those tomatoes. I might need more seasoning. I'm not sure yet, though. All right. Bye, John. All right, I didn't put any fresh garlic in. I'm not going to worry about it because, I probably should. But do I really feel like mincing it? Ugh. I guess I will. I'll mince a couple. All right. Paprika, thyme, oregano. Yeah, and there was apparently going to be thyme out here, but I didn't see it.
You want thyme?
Well, that's what somebody's saying. I don't know if
thyme was on.
Is thyme on the list?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, dear.
That'll sit there. All right.
All right, I'm going to put in
That
4
water
cloves.
wasn't too loud for anybody.
Oh, right.
You want thyme? I took my mic off and moved it away.
Okay, I am drinking my homemade apple cider that I'm not in love with, so it's not a recipe yet. And it's a slow cooker version. I have a one I really like in my pressure cooker cookbook, but I was trying to do a slow cooker version, and I don't like it as much. So it's apple cider, and it is bourbon. Sorry. Can you tell my brain isn't right? My brain is not right today. Okay. So now that's looking pretty good. I don't know. Should it be more tomatoey? I guess you guys can't see it because Jeff's not here to switch the camera. But when he gets back, before I go any further, I'll let you guys look at it. I will put in, honey, there's thyme right up here. I'm going to put in 2 bay leaves.
Oh.
I think it's right up there, unless I used it for pork chops today. But I think I put it back. Oh my gosh, I put it back. I can't believe it.
All right, let me show inside of there.
Yeah, it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to use half of a teaspoon of thyme. I'm not using any paprika. I mean, I could, but I think it might. Should it be darker? I'm thinking maybe I should.
It's. I don't know if it needs to be darker. It's ends up being a tomato-based kind of looking thing. Debbie says it looks good. Barb says it looks good. Looks fabulous.
I mean, it looks pretty good. We need to get the rice in, though, right? If we're going to be able to cook that at the same time. And now this is where it's going to get a little tricky because I want to steam the rice. And I'm going to steam it right. Oh, I can't open that. Can you open that for me?
Kat says it does not need to be darker, by the way.
My nose is running and itching right now.
This is a worse design.
I know. Aren't they terrible? They're so terrible. They're getting harder to open. Or maybe I'm just getting older. I don't know.
It smells a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Doesn't smell like fish.
No, that smells good. Okay. So I should have measured. That's okay. We're going to be okay. All right. I'm using this for my rice. And we are just going to do it like that. So I just have the rice just above the liquid just above the rice line. Now, what my big thing is to be able to put in enough thin liquid that I can still steam for about 12 minutes. And that I'm just going to have to go by. I guess I'll measure so I can tell you guys, but I'm just going to go by looks to see. This is my one that got melted. Okay, so 1 cup, 12 minutes. 1 cup will probably be enough, but I'm going to, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put in 1 1/4 cups. And hopefully it's going to be thick enough when I'm done. But that gave us enough thin liquid that it won't burn to the bottom while I do this rice. So I'm going to put this in. Did I forget anything? I don't think so. I think we're good. Did I forget anything, Jeff?
I don't think so. I'm looking around here. This is a garnish at the end. You did do your garlic, right?
Yeah, I put in 4 cloves of garlic.
And
Okay, so now I vent this because we're going to steam. Okay, I can't really see this at all. Is that steam, Jeff?
I can't see. Yeah, that's steam.
Okay. All right, so we're going to steam this for 10 minutes. I don't know. If I was testing a recipe, I would test pressure cook for 2 minutes. I may have enough thin liquid in there to go under pressure, even with the roux, but I would really be running the risk of getting the water or the burn notice. So instead of that, I'm going to use the steam function, which will finish cooking the shrimp and then and thicken that liquid underneath because the steam will evaporate out from the top. In pressure cooking, the steam won't evaporate because it's stuck in the pot. So that could have ended up making the sauce a little too runny. So hopefully this will work. It came under steam. The preheat was pretty darn quick. So I may need to go up to 12 minutes in order to get this rice done. So we'll see. Might even need to do longer. I'm not seeing a whole bunch of steam coming out yet, which could potentially be an issue. But hey, you know what? I'm going to go up to 12 minutes and we're just going to see what happens. Because that is what happens on Tasty Tuesday, right?
All right, I'll take some of this stuff out.
And Jen, you know what's interesting about the shrimp? Like on almost all of my recipes, I do add the shrimp after the fact. And like if I'm pressure cooking, I add the shrimp after the fact because they cook so quickly. But I have a recipe for a one pot, what would you call it? Like a seafood boil. And I pressure cook the shrimp and they pressure cook for a long time, like 30 minutes or something crazy like that. And you know, they're not overcooked. But they are in the shells. And I think I put them in frozen and they're in the shells. But you're right. They could overcook for sure. All right. We can clean all this up. Then I can talk about my sourdough while that's either going to steam or give me some kind of a.
And then we got to figure out what we're going to do for a little garlic bread to go with our soup.
Are we gonna eat my
We can do that. We can save
my
this.
sourdough?
Yeah. We can do that.
So that knife that I just gave you, if you don't mind cleaning that off the serrated one,
Okay.
or I might have another serrated. I don't think so though. I think my other serrated's in the sink.
Okay. That's really wet, so let me get
Okay.
another dry one. Oop, it didn't pick up like I thought it would. Here. Too much water. Well, that's one way to do it.
I love these towels. They are good for everything. And then I'll just put it right in the dishwasher. I mean, not the dishwasher. Put it right in the what do we call that thing that we wash clothes in? No, not dishwasher.
The washing machine.
Can you tell my brain is not working?
What was I coming over here for?
You were gonna get the serrated knife out of there and
Oh,
clean it for
it's
me.
in there.
Okay. Yeah, I thought the steam function was the way to go, but I am not seeing any steam. That is a problem. Oh boy.
Yeah, because you got to get that rice done before you destroy the shrimp.
Yeah.
Always
I'm
the
not-
challenge.
And I'm not seeing any steam whatsoever coming out of that pot. Am I on steam? Yeah, I am.
Is it running?
It is running. So with
There was a lot of liquid in there.
well, with thick liquids, it just doesn't steam correctly. So this might not work, which is okay. We'll just do something different. It'll be fine. I'll just put in more liquid and put the rice right in with the
Put the rice in by
call
itself.
it, Louise's concoction. It'll be fine.
We'll call it crunchy rice etouffee.
No, we won't have crunchy rice. Oh, okay. So Jen said she did a boil and pressure cooked it, I guess. And you talk about rubber rice. Yeah, these were not. I haven't done it in a long time, but
Oops.
most of the recipes, I absolutely put the rice in at the end. Oh my goodness. Let's see.
Oh, it popped up pretty quickly.
What's wrong?
Oh, I guess I got the wrong one.
And Lisa, I can wait. Where are you? I don't know what that is in reference to. Maybe we should probably go up a little bit and see what the comments are. I feel like we're missing something. But there was also another comment about switching over to pressure cook. The liquids, if I'm not steaming, I'm definitely not going to be able to pressure cook. Now, I could have flipped the script, so to speak. Could have put the rice in the bottom with the liquid and put the shrimp and all that stuff in a big pot kind of thing on the rack. That could have worked. But we're committed now. We're going to make this work. Hi, Marla. How are you? And Whitney, I'm using the Ninja Foodie pressure cooker and air crisper. All right. I think that's good. Okay. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. I've got to kind of concentrate a little bit here because it's not working like I thought it would. Okay. Let's talk about the sourdough, which I do need to heat back up a little bit to crisp back up. So I started a sourdough starter the other day. Not the other day. It's like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I'm notorious for starting them and then not following through. I forget to feed the little baby. I hate measuring. To me, it's just a task I don't want to do every day, right? And I forget about it. And so it was going okay, but I kind of knew it wasn't maturing like I wanted it to. And I thought, I am not going to follow these rules anymore. I am not measuring. I am not weighing anything. I'm not weighing anything. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just sick of it. I'm going to go with my gut instinct, which is basically remove half of the starter and put in what I think is the right amount of flour and water and get it to a certain consistency, which is a little thinner than paste, but not as thin as a pancake batter. So I did that for a couple days, and all of a sudden, my sourdough starter was rising up really nicely, right? Really nicely. And so I just said, well, this is it. I'm just going to do it this way. So today I decided to take out when I was about to feed it, and I fed it last night, and I realized that it had doubled in size. So I was like, well, instead of discarding that part, which I have a discard jar too, but instead of discarding that, I'm going to go ahead and pull that out because it is now at its peak, and I will make some sourdough English muffins. And then I started making the English muffins and started making the dough. And I'm like, this is really wet. And I don't think my sourdough is going to work. And keep in mind, I was making a very small batch. This is like 1 cup of flour. Okay. So very, very small batch. So then I let it proof in the Ninja Combi for a little bit. And I realized that it was starting to look like a high hydration sourdough bread. So started to do some very minimal effort folds that you do with sourdough. I forget what Kat just said it earlier. Now I forget what they're called. And I was like, I think this is going to work. Started getting bubbling on top. It started rising a little bit. I was able to shape it. So I said, well, I'm just going to bake it up. Then I forgot about it. I had it in. I forgot about it. I went to do something else. Jeff said, your bread is burning. And it was just about. It's not really burnt. So I flipped it over and got the bottom done. I have no idea what it looks like inside. Obviously, I haven't cut it. We're going to do that right now.
Stretch and folds.
Stretch and folds. That's right. That's right. Mine were very modified, very easy. Again, I don't play by the rules. This is nerve-wracking, though. It could be the densest, worst-looking thing in the world. I don't know.
Oh,
well,
look at that. It's
not too shabby. But I'm undercooked in here. So the issue was my temperature was too high in the combi. This is looking pretty good. It's a little gummy. I'm just undercooked. But I'm pretty happy with that. So let's take a little bit. I got to figure out what's going on with this too, because I'm not going to eat that gummy part. All of it's a little dense and gummy. The high hydration bread, I thought it should cook longer. Oh my. That was a good flavor though. You want to try it?
Yeah.
You want to try it? Try this so you're not eating any. It's dense. It's not right, but toast out of that and that's going to be delicious.
Oh, it is delicious.
Isn't that good? So.
Mississippi sourdough.
It's not steaming at all. Oh, it is steaming a little bit. Oh, I can smell it now. Oh boy. Now I've got decisions to make. I see the steam coming
I'd
out.
give it another minute because now that the steam is coming,
Yeah.
it may start to boil and really give you the right steam that you need.
Yeah. I can smell it coming out. It smells good.
Remember, all that shrimp was frozen.
Right. That's true. That's why I was kind of shocked that it went like from the preheat to the steaming so fast. I was a little bit shocked at that. But the steam is really starting to come out now. I wish possibly I could peek in the pot. And the reason why I would want to peek in the pot is maybe to uncover that rice, because I've got the barrier of the silicone. But then again, I don't know. Maybe the heat transfer from the
all that steam's going to be gone.
I know if I open the lid, all the steam's going to be gone. If it works the way I want it to, then the Fat Daddy-O pan, which is aluminum, will conduct enough heat to radiate to that liquid in the pan with the rice to heat that and create enough steam.
It may have conducted enough heat, which is why you didn't get steam earlier than you expected it, because it's got to go somewhere.
That's right.
And if the aluminum is stealing it,
right,
transferring it to the rice.
Right. Good point. Good point. Lisa says so many rules. Well, for sourdough, oh my gosh. I just don't even. Like, I read through them because I think it's so fascinating, and I belong to a bunch of sourdough groups and things like that. So I like to read everything. I'm making sure I'm not burning. Do you smell burnt?
No, I smell shrimp.
But I can't be bothered following them. I just can't. It takes all darn day, and I just can't. So I've got to find shortcuts.
George says, let it run its course and see what happens. If it doesn't work, you'll know what went wrong the next time.
That's true. I can almost start to smell just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of what may be burning on the bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
You can smell that over that ripe onion.
Yeah, I can it's just a little bit, but that's okay because I can fix that too. By not scraping the bottom of the pot and just leaving, if it's burnt on a little bit, I will just be dumping this out into some other container and not scrape. So hopefully it won't be in there long enough where the rest of the dish smells burnt. But I don't even know how long I put this on for. So obviously this would not be a recipe right away, right?
So when did you order etouffee at a restaurant?
I order it quite frequently because I've always wanted to make it, but I never have made it.
Really?
I used to get the duck etouffee at that restaurant, Copeland's, remember?
Yeah.
That in Annapolis?
I remember that.
Yeah. So I used to get the duck etouffee. Oh my gosh, was that delicious. And then
but that was that was so long ago.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm really steaming now.
Yeah.
Do you smell just a little burnt? No?
No, but don't go on my account there.
Well, I'm gonna go.
I mean, there is some fat in there. There's the butter, so that could burn.
No, it'll be the flour. It'll be the whole thing on the bottom.
The roux itself.
You know, like it'll be an unappealing version of paella, right? Where that stuff gets burned on the bottom, but that's on purpose, and that's like delicious.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that.
Delicious. So I also got it at Voodoo. What is that thing called? Gumbo Voodoo or Voodoo Gumbo?
Yeah, the one in Nashville.
We're steaming now. We're steaming now. Yeah, Nashville. I'm not going to press my luck too much longer. I'm going to go 3 more minutes and open it up. The pin went up, which even though I'm on the steam mode, the pin went up. So that means I can't even open the lid now to check it. So I'm going to let the pin
All you
drop.
can do is turn it off if you panic.
So I went from, it was at 8 minutes or 7 minutes something. I went down to 3 because at 3 more minutes, I'm going to then I have to wait for the pin to drop, which will take just a minute or so. I'm nervous.
It'll be interesting to see what the rice does since
whoa.
You went from steaming the rice to almost pressure cooking the rice.
Almost, yeah. I know. It'll be very interesting. All right, so I'm going to need heat gloves. I know that.
Kat says maybe it's the rice that you smell burning, but it was...
No, it was liquid. Yeah, it's not rice.
Yeah, it was submerged.
Now I could tell. I know when flour. I know the smell, but it's so faint.
Mayor says, have you ever made paella in the Ninja?
No, I've tried it. Well, yes, I have, and I failed miserably every time. I can't. I've never made a successful paella, and it's one of my favorite things. And I'm really hoping to get that nailed down one of these days. All right, I need some things to put this in, Mr. Long. The rice can go in here, but I need something to dump the etouffee out
Okay.
into.
Like a deeper bowl of some sort.
I'm going to put this back in the combi, and we're going to put this in on bake. Oops. On a low temp, like 275 for however long till we're ready to eat.
Is this big enough?
I am so nervous. Oh no, for that whole pot?
Yeah.
No, I need something really big. Trying to think what I could steer you towards. This will be okay for the. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh my gosh. George.
I don't even know if this is big enough.
Oh, no. It's going to be a whole big pot, babe. A whole big pot. Like huge.
I know.
Like huge pot. There. You can give me that. That'll work.
This plastic thing?
It's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
It is fine. We're going to pour it right into some plastic. That is fine. Hi, Dawn. How are you? So I'm trying my hand. Do you mind washing these real quick? So I'm trying my hand at.
Do you want me to just take a couple of them and wash them, or
Yeah,
wash the
that's
whole
fine.
kit caboodle?
That's fine. I'll put the rest in water. That one looks a little okay. I'm so nervous. What am I doing? That's another thing. Like, it's tough for anybody who goes live and does cooking. My hat is off to you, because especially if you don't know what you're going to be cooking with, because like, I don't even know what utensils to get, like what knives to get ready. I know nothing because I don't know what I'm cooking. So I just used another very dull knife. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
It's going to be interesting.
It is. My pin's about to drop, which the pin is only up because sometimes in the Ninja on the two lids, the valve, even though it's releasing steam, there's still so much steam in there that it will put the pin up. And then you just have to wait. I'm leaving it on keep warm. That's not going to be an issue unless I'm burning the bottom, and then maybe it might be, but not really, because keep warm isn't even happening yet. It's too hot in the pot for that to affect anything really. So I'm just nervous. I think I'm going to embarrass myself tonight.
Well, Whitney says there's no mistakes, just happy little accidents that we learn from.
That is true. That is very true, Whitney. That is very true. I just have a feeling my rice is not cooked. My etouffee is burned. Moment of truth. Are we ready?
It's going to be perfect.
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay.
How's the
I
rice?
don't know yet, because I really shouldn't even open it.
Oh, Joni says, don't forget to put some on a plate for me.
Yes. Okay. I'm not even going to open it.
Oh, you're
gonna
not?
Open it. No. Oh. We're still quite
We're
soupy.
quite soupy.
We are quite soupy.
A little stir might fix that. I see that
Well,
that shrimp got cooked well. The one
That
that
is
was
the issue, though. If I stir and I'm burned on the bottom, I'm going to run into some issues.
I would study that one shrimp that was sitting on the bottom. How burnt is it? The one that's stuck on your rack there.
Oh, that's a good idea. We're going to study this shrimp.
If it's burnt, you might have some charring.
Oh, I do, but it looks like good stuff like paella. Maybe I just figured out how to get that paella worked out. Okay, so This is what I tell people all the time. It doesn't taste burnt. Maybe just a tad. Okay. Ouch.
How's the seasoning?
I don't know yet.
Oh.
I mean, that was kind of bland, but maybe I needed to use Tony's after all. Okay. So what I tell people when they're pressure cooking, if they get the water notice, is don't stir, dump, and then you can see what's going on the bottom. That is exactly what I'm going to do. Even though I didn't go under pressure, I just I didn't have enough liquid.
You can always stir it inside of the second container.
Exactly. So we're going to slowly pour this out.
Oh, it's stuck, but it doesn't look burnt.
But it doesn't look like it's not burnt. It's not burnt. I'm okay with it. It's not burnt.
It's like you stop that just at the right time.
Yeah, it's not burnt or burned. What would be correct, Jeff? No, it's not at all. Oh,
I think burnt would be correct.
It is not burnt. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. But we do have a little issue that this is definitely tons soupier than what it should be.
Yeah, it needs
tons.
Some more. It needs a little more roux or something.
Yeah, it does. Wow. It does. So
George asked, is the silicone lid a good idea if the aim is to steam the rice? Well, we're about to find out.
Well, the water's in there, so I'm trapping it in, and I did a 1-to-1 rough ratio. I didn't measure. So I could have steamed this a lot longer. Oh my gosh. Now what do? I got to figure out.
Stir it.
I did. I stirred it. I did. I stirred it and I got all that stuff off the bottom.
So it needs to be thickened either with.
It needs to be thickened. Yes. And
either
so I put way too much liquid in there.
You probably just need.
So my rice is under, and it did absorb all the water, but I can tell by looking at it that it's under. But it's not so under that I could just go back under steam.
So we got some people saying cornstarch slurry at this point. You could do a flour slurry.
I would do a flour, but well, I know it's getting late. But honestly, let me put a little bit more liquid in here, just a little bit.
Just straight water.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't use cold water though, with ice in it.
As you throw in an ice cube.
I know. Whatever. We use what we have. All right. I'm going back under. I'm going under. Where's my pressure lid? What did I do with it? Oh. I'm going back. Why does this keep saying add food? Doesn't it? Do you really have to open that up? That's a little inconvenient. I thought it would just automatically.
You think that was too liquidy to simmer and reduce?
Well, if I steam it, I'm going to steam it again.
Well, that'll do two things, right? It'll burn off some of that liquid.
Yes,
and it'll finish the rice.
And it finished the rice. So I think I just jumped. Well, did I jump to conclusions or jump the gun by turning it off? I don't think so. Because I think if I would have kept going without scraping the bottom of the pot, I think it would have burned.
George has a great question.
Yes.
How's the shrimp? Is it rubbery?
No, not rubbery, but maybe overcooked. I am going to hold judgment on that. Until
as we cook up more.
Well, it's hard to tell because that one was stuck under the rack right on the bottom of the pot with the direct heat. So that would be like smashing it on a frying pan for all that time.
The other ones are just sitting in liquid.
The other ones are just sitting in liquid.
Which wasn't necessarily boiling the whole time either.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately. Well,
maybe you should have stole a shrimp before you stuck the rice back in, but
we are
where we are.
Yep. Yeah, flour would work, but the rice needs to cook a little longer. So this is one of those things where I just got to keep going, right? I don't think I would do a cornstarch slurry, Jolene, for this. And the reason being is that it would work and it would be fine. But like if I was writing the recipe, I wouldn't use cornstarch for this because I wouldn't want a glossy sauce. I would want to do more of a dull, rich looking sauce, not a glossy one. Cornstarch will give you a glossy sauce, whereas a flour slurry will give you a more dull sauce, which would be more like the roux that I used in the beginning. So I would just stick with that. But if you were doing it at home and you just wanted to do something quick, cornstarch works just fine.
I think it really comes down to the simplest way to fix this, hindsight wise, would have been to use less liquid going into the.
Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe because the shrimp put off probably a lot more liquid than I took into account. So
I understand why you put as much liquid as you did because you wanted it to go under steam, and you were even concerned early on that it wasn't going to steam.
Right. I think I'm going to, Debbie, I thought about that. I thought about that, Debbie, I was going to do that, but I'm going to give this a shot. Okay. I'm going to try to fix it.
Dump the rice in with the shrimp.
And I'm just going to make
because that's how it's going to end up.
Yeah. And then we would be making more of a soup kind of thing. So I thought about doing that. That would be a quick fix. It would still be delicious.
Or develop the roux a bit further.
I think what I would do is flip things around. So I would have made what I made in the bottom. I would have then transferred that to a large container with putting in the rice, covered that, and steamed the rice in the bottom. And that would have prevented pretty much all the issues, I think.
And there's a good recommendation from Juliet. Use a big slotted spoon so there's less liquid when you're serving it, if you have to do that.
True. But I'm not going to be getting the flavors from the sauce, right? Because it was pretty liquidy. So did you happen to take a spoon and taste the sauce? I didn't.
So all you tasted was that one shrimp.
Yeah, it was a little bland.
And it was like, it's not going to tell you much.
This is probably going to be 2 thumbs down.
No.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to turn my pork chops off over there.
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, what am I doing? So now my pork chop recipe, this is how fast something goes wrong. So now my pork chop recipe that I just spent all day testing is a failure because I let it go over to keep warm and I didn't test the texture of the pork chop when the 8 hours of pressure cook time was up. And I let it go to keep warm. And it has now been on keep warm for 3 hours. So there's no way. Now that's a scrapped.
That might be delicious.
I bet it's delicious, but it won't.
Pork stew.
No, it'll be delicious. It'll be fun, but it won't be. I can't count it as a recipe test. Oh, this is what happens to me all the time.
Everybody email Louise and tell her to stop multitasking.
Right. Right. Well, when something takes 8 hours, what are you going to do? Sit on it? I mean, it takes 8 hours. What are we going to do?
And the freeze dry, and that just is another whole thing. Like, we're going to start this for 24, 36 hours.
It's like it. And I've been weighing.
We have to do like time math to figure out when will this be done.
Yep.
When will it be frozen so that it'll start the pump will kick on.
Yep. All right. Is that Tangi? Tangi says, what are you sipping on, Louise? Adult beverage sounds nice with the meal. This is a bourbon and apple cider, homemade apple cider. And it's good. It's not, the apple cider is not my best, so I need to keep working on that recipe too, but it's good.
Next week's
really
cocktail is going to be a dark and stormy.
Okay, next week will be a dark and stormy. Okay.
Not next week, but next Tasty Tuesday.
Next Tasty Tuesday.
And
okay.
I'm going to try it and try to perfect it and see exactly what it's supposed to be. So has anybody ever had a dark and stormy? Or heard of a dark and stormy?
You're really steaming now.
It's steaming like crazy.
I don't need that much longer.
You can interrupt the steam process.
How many minutes did I set it for? 12?
Anybody? I don't remember.
It smells so good.
Jolene says, do you make apple butter?
Yes,
I think you actually have a
delicious recipe on my website for pressure cooker apple butter. It's so good.
Go to the saltedpepper.com.
Yes,
and search for apple butter.
I said it earlier. This is my favorite part of Tasty Tuesday. Watching Louise work through the options. More often than not, it works out. But seeing it. Oops. See, I think I did address this, but I didn't read it all the way. More often than not, but seeing it in real time is awesome. Thank you, George.
So a dark and stormy
is
a dark and stormy is dark rum with ginger beer, and I think a slice of lime. But I'm not sure about that part. But I'm going to research it, and we're going to try to do something with that.
10. Jolene thinks I set it for 10. Gosh.
10 minutes, and we're at 7. It's all about the rice at this point.
It is all about the rice. Well, and I'm hoping to steam up some of that liquid.
Did you pull
You know
those
what I
bay
should
leaves
have
yet?
done? Did I do what?
Did you pull the bay leaves yet?
No. You know what I should have done? Now that I'm thinking about this, how silly am I? I should have put the flour slurry in there. It wouldn't thicken immediately, but it would thicken as it's steaming. Because now I have another step to do. I should have done that. I didn't think of it.
Should have done what?
I should have done the flour slurry in there already. Like, that's what I should have done. And I didn't do it. But that's okay. That's okay. This is learning. We're learning. We're learning. Puppy dog. I don't think I need that much, actually. All right. So I will do, I don't know how much that was. 2.5 tablespoons, probably. And then I'll put a little bit of this in because we'll just keep it consistent. And I'll mix this up. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm letting you guys down so much this time. This certainly is not traditional. This certainly is not Cajun at all. I think everybody's like gonna flip out if they watch this and they're Cajun because they're gonna be like, what in the world are you doing?
We're cheating.
You know, I'm remembering something though now. When I made one of my recipes, I got a message from somebody saying that either, and I might have this backwards, so maybe you guys can help me. Cajuns don't put in tomatoes, but in Creole cooking they do.
I think
in Cajun cooking
I think
they
that's
don't,
correct.
and in Creole they do.
I think you're correct.
So would this be Creole?
I think that would. Let me look it up.
Obviously, I'm not well versed here. Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm going to put down a 1 minute. I'm going to let this go to keep warm. I'm so nervous.
It's found in both Cajun and Creole cuisine.
What, tomatoes?
Yeah, but no, the etouffee.
Oh.
But there are a few differences.
I don't think the ones I've had have had tomatoes in there.
Cajun etouffee uses a roux made with oil and lard or other animal fats, while Creole etouffee uses a traditional French-style roux made with butter and flour.
Oh.
The spices are different. Cajun is spicier, more peppers and ground spices.
Okay.
While the Creole etouffee is more herbaceous. Creole etouffee is sometimes made with tomatoes, an ingredient generally absent in Cajun cuisine. Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that is really interesting. So before I do recipes that I put on the internet and before I do them like for real, I always research all that stuff now. I didn't used to because I didn't really like understand the significance. And so now I research all that. So this is Louise's style pot of mess. Okay. So we're not going
we're not claiming
we're not
claiming to do anybody's.
No. But I'm still going to say, I'm sorry, Tony, I'm not using your Creole seasoning. It was just too spicy. Although mine might be too bland.
Well, maybe next time we try it with the recommended amount of that and see what happens. And we might be surprised. Might still be blown away by the saltiness.
Maybe.
Who knows?
It was pretty salty, though.
I think my biggest surprise of the night is that the seafood stock does not smell like the ocean.
You think? I think it smells exactly like it should. It smells like the ocean. It just doesn't smell fishy.
I thought that the Walmart shrimp smelled more like the ocean.
Yeah, it did.
And the stuff from Aldi, which is the other bag,
I don't think it smells like the ocean.
Smelled fine.
I think you got to kind of be a little careful with the seafood that you get at the grocery stores because they're not always the freshest stuff. So
That's
frozen
true.
should be frozen, flash frozen on, and then transferred to the store. But if the chain of command, so to speak, the chain of evidence,
Chain of custody.
the chain of custody of the shrimp doesn't follow food safety rules, then you can run the risk of it have been thawed a little bit, and then that's when bacteria will start growing. But this wasn't bad. Ordinarily, like I just dumped it in, but ordinarily, like I always rinse all that stuff off before I cook with it, but I didn't this time. Here we go. We're going to see what happened.
The second moment of truth.
The second moment of truth, which basically the only thing I'm really worried about at this point, I can fix the rest, whoops, is this rice. And whether or not, I think we're good. I think we're good there. All right, there's still some water in the bottom, and that's fine. I'm going to put this lid back on. It's steamy as steamy can be. I think we're going to be okay. So I'm going to put this back on and sit this over to the side and just let that continue to steam.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So if you think the rice is done, why wouldn't you take the lid off and let the steam
Because
disappear?
there's some water in the bottom, so I want that to absorb into the rice. Because
as opposed to hoping that it dissipates.
for this dish, I don't really care if the rice is overcooked because it's going to be underneath, this delicious, hopefully, etouffee of Louise's pot mess. So I just want to let it absorb that liquid.
Okay.
And I still think it had room to go, but I can test it for you and tell you. Just a tad bit longer it needs. So it'll absorb that. It'll be fine. All right, we're getting closer, but we're going to go ahead and do this. You're going to put this in. We're going to put this on high sear saute, and we're going to get this thickened up. And we're going to call it a success.
Where's our garlic bread? We skipped the garlic bread.
We're doing that sourdough.
Oh, did you garlic it up?
No, Jeff, I didn't.
Oh, we're just going to do sourdough, not garlic.
Yeah, because I have to garlic that up too.
No, don't
right?
worry about that. That's fine.
Yeah, I didn't because I'm a little busy. I'm a little busy not knowing what I'm doing.
Jolene says, taste your sauce.
Oh, yeah, good point. Good point. Good point. Okay, here we go. Oh, boy. Moment of truth. All right, Jeff, I'm going to make your garlic bread.
No,
I'm
don't.
starting to feel guilty.
No, don't do that. I wasn't sure what you were doing with the sourdough.
I think that's darn good. It's not spicy, though.
Put some hot sauce in there.
Well, yeah, no, I don't want to put that in there. I like it.
Let me taste it.
And it's got a little bit of a back end kick. Once it's concentrated, I think it could use a tiny bit of salt. But I know.
That's hilarious.
I know. Just a little bit, though. All right, we're almost where we want to be.
Well, I might have a little piece of shrimp.
Make sure you let that cool off.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to make garlic bread, and we're going to do it fast. We're going to do it fast.
Mm,
Okay. What do you think?
I like it.
But we'll use my sourdough since it's already cut. Okay.
Use your sourdough.
Okay, we're going to use my sourdough. All right, I'm going to move these to the back, and then I'm going to make the quickest ham. What are we making?
Garlic bread?
Garlic bread. I'm going to make the quickest. I'm stepping over dogs right now. I look a little bit. All right. The thing with garlic bread is it's not as easy to make as people think from scratch because there's a little bit that goes into it. Unless you're just going to use powder.
Let me get this out of the way.
Yeah, something. Oh, I got to unlock it. I got to stir. I'm starting to, my multitasking is not so good here. This, I could probably even thicken this more. So yeah, this one's going to go back to the drawing board, but it's going to be delicious when I'm ready to eat it. Okay, so let's put some butter into this pan. And let's mince some more garlic, which I have to find where everything is. I think I have another mincer. I do. And we've got that on. And we're going to cook the garlic. Because you don't put raw garlic on garlic bread. It's too bitter. Well, at least I don't. I shouldn't tell other people what they do or don't do. But I don't. Can you stir that, hon? I'm not going to be able to do both of these things.
What are we stirring it with?
Just to keep stirring it, yeah. Oh, yeah, like that.
It smells so good.
Yep. It does smell good. All right, how much garlic? I think that was about 2 tablespoons of butter. So I'm going to do about 3 cloves of garlic. And then we're just going to let this simmer for a minute, put in a touch of salt, and then we will be ready to, well, I only have a touch of salt left. Okay, good. Okay. Now, I'm out of spoons here. Sorry, I'm sorry I'm not paying attention to you guys because this takes a little concentration or I'm going to burn my garlic. So sorry about that. I can't really look up too much.
Can I put this down to medium or something?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want there. You can actually just turn it off now.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to add more flour slurry, even if
it's going to town.
What?
It's going to town.
Yeah,
so it's hot.
Yeah, even if it needs more, I'm not going to add any more. We're just going to let it sit and thicken up a little bit. I'm not going to add more. But I do need to decide if I'm going to add any more seasonings. Okay. So Kat says, I have no clue what's up with my phone. My daughter just texted me, and every time I tried to respond, my phone started picking up and typing Louise and Jeff's conversation. Oh my gosh, that happens to me. That happens to me all the time. It is frustrating, right? I'll look over at my phone and I will have just had a conversation with whoever, and it's all written out on my phone to the last person that I messaged. And I'm thinking, man, if I accidentally hit send, I mean, there's nothing really I'm talking about, but they would be like, who are you? And what is this? Right? Hysterical. Yeah. Phones are weird.
So here's we talked about the back end kick. Lisa said that's exactly what you want, a back kick.
Back kick. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm just thinking that the front's a little flat. So I'm thinking I just need a little bit and just a little bit more
salt.
Just a little bit. Not much.
Probably
all right, I got to get this out. We're going to
quarter of a teaspoon.
What?
Quarter of a teaspoon for the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah. Why is this? This thing's driving me crazy tonight. Okay, so now we're going to put this into the freezer, Jeff.
Okay.
And that is our garlic part of our garlic bread.
All right, I'll get it in the freezer.
And now it won't be bitter, hopefully. And I put it in metal, and I still have the butter in there. And I put it in metal so that hopefully that will absorb the freezer temperature very quickly.
Whew,
okay,
it is
yeah, it's
hot.
Hold it by the top. So
yeah.
All right, I think we're good. I mean, this is still not as thick as last. All right, I think we're good. All right, I got to make a decision now about seasonings, and then we can plate up. What to do about the seasonings? This is the question. Question of the night. So how was that shrimp? Was that shrimp overcooked?
No.
Okay. Good. That is good. All right, let's see. It's hot. It's going to be so hot. That is so good, though. That's so
Are the
delicious.
flavors coming together a little bit better now?
It's so good. It is so good, but it does need salt, and I don't think I even have enough, but we'll just put this in. So this is about a quarter of a teaspoon. So I put in, I think, 1.5 teaspoons in the beginning. So probably I would need a total of I would say 1.5. Well, I put in 1.5, but I would be decreasing the liquid next time and doing it a little different. So anyway, I'm going to play with this though, because this is really delicious. It's just not thick enough, Jeff. It's just not thick enough.
I know.
Shoot. But we're going to eat
That's
it.
okay.
We're going to eat it.
We are definitely going to
It's
eat
going
it.
to be good. It tastes delicious. It tastes really, really good. All right. Let me get this cleaned up. Pop those in. I always put in the green onions either as a garnish or after cooking. I just like them better that way. Let me clean this up. And
Can I get a couple more dogs for you over
yeah,
here?
I know. I'm stepping over dogs.
Kiddos.
All right, let's clean this up. You want to get some plates, hon, and we'll go ahead
Sure.
and finish this up.
Plates, or you want to like a shallow bowl?
Shallow bowl will be fine. Yep.
Okay.
Either way. That'll be good. I love this. I love etouffee, and even though I did not make it in any traditional sense, it still has the same flavors. It still tastes like what you get at the restaurant, honestly. Except it's, I mean, like, I wonder if there's such a thing as etouffee soup, right? Betty, Louise, do you have a recipe for shrimp creole? No, I don't. Well, Kat, I can't really add less liquid next time if I steam. I'm gonna flip things around, do it a little differently. But we managed to make it through. I just think that the amount of liquid that you need for steaming is just too much. So I won't be able to use that function. That's all. We just have to.
Yeah, and
redo
George
things.
says if it tastes good and the shrimp isn't overcooked, just don't add as much liquid to the rice. That's a possibility.
No, that won't work because the rice needs a certain, unless I dumped it all in, the rice needs a certain amount of liquid to actually cook. So the rice is fine. It's getting the right thickness. This is why recipe development can be challenging sometimes. So I need to get the right thickness and figure out
It's
how to cook.
thickening up a little bit. It's
Tomorrow.
still not as thick as
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
spaghetti sauce.
Tomorrow it will be fine, but it needs to be fine the very day you serve it, right? It needs to be fine. It looks amazing and it smells good and I know it tastes good. So we're okay. We're going to have a lovely dinner, but this would not be a recipe on my website because number
Not
one,
yet,
it's
anyway.
not traditional. But number two, it's also, I got to get this bay leaf out. It's just not, obviously it just needed too much, needed to be babysat too much. All right. I didn't even taste it after I added the shrimp. It looks beautiful. It looks good. Shrimp look a little smaller, which is normal though in any etouffee that I've gotten, shrimp etouffee. The shrimp are small, but I have a feeling they might just be a tad overcooked. We're going to find out in just a minute.
All right, we need a couple
We need to
spoons.
get the garlic out, and then we're going to get the bread out, and then we're going to taste everything and bid y'all good night. Now, ordinarily, I'm going to turn that off.
There's your garlic.
Okay, thank you. Ordinarily, I would make this like totally different, right? I would have had the garlic butter already done, and then I would probably have done the bread and then cut it. It's so hot. Cut it and then put the garlic butter on there. But we are, oh, it's nice and crunchy though. Oh my goodness. Because I can't hold it with my hands because it is hot, as hot can be. I don't know how I'm going to do this, Jeff. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. There we go.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, that was a chore there.
That is hot, hot, hot.
Whoa, it's hot. Oh my gosh, it's hot. Whoa. And my bread is not all the way cooked. So anyway, we got lots of little failures here, but it's all good. We don't sweat the small stuff, do we? All right. Now we're putting that garlic on this bread. And Jeff, come over here. Hopefully I sauteed that long enough so it's not bitter.
All right, let me grab a couple spoons.
Okay, we're ready to taste it. We'll see.
It smells really good in here.
It does. It smells good. It's going to be fine. I'm not worried about it.
They're
It's gonna
not
be great.
soup spoons, but it'll work.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
All right, I got a shrimp and some.
It's kind of thick. It's not
It's
bad.
not thick enough though. All right, cheers. Ready?
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my.
Oh,
It tastes good though.
shrimp is perfect.
The shrimp is perfectly
It
cooked.
is not rubbery at all.
Mm-mm. Mm. It needs to be thicker and a little richer.
It does need to be a little richer.
It needs to be a little richer, and it needs to be not spicier, so to speak, but could maybe use a little more salt. Maybe Tony knows what he's talking about after all. Huh? Tony, forgive me.
Garlic's a little bitter.
Let me have that seasoning. All right, here we go. Here we go. Just a tad.
You are just.
Okay.
You're brave.
I know, and it's spicy too. Ooh, this is even spicy for me. I think as I get older, I don't like the spice as much. Too salty.
See, I put a little bit. Try this one.
Oh, no, I can't use that.
Try this here where I just put a little bit of Tony's on there.
Mm.
Still a little salty, but it's not like you went crazy.
I went crazy. Is this one?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one?
Still too much?
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Tony. That's terrible. That is horrible. Mine was better.
The garlic didn't work.
No, is it still bitter?
It's real bitter.
Yeah. Mm.
The bread's good.
That bread's good though. Yeah. Yeah, because it takes time. Oh well. Garlic butter needs to be made in advance.
The flavors are so good though.
The flavors are mine's ruined, unfortunately, but the flavors are
Pour
good.
some more sauce on. Dilute the salt a little bit.
I don't know, guys.
I'm gonna try
Jen.
this by pouring that all over the
There's
top.
nothing that's going to mellow about the salt content in this Tony's whatever it is. It is so salty. I don't see how it's even usable. I mean, I know people love it, and it's fine. It is just not for me at all. It is so salty.
We gotta try it when it actually cooks in there.
But salt doesn't cook out.
Oh.
I mean, the first ingredient is salt, which, I mean, that's kind of normal, but I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. We'll just leave it there. Everything else is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bobby says they have salt free. Oh, and you don't like the regular. Well, people are coming to my rescue here. All the Tony lovers out there. I got some friends in my corner. Yeah, I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible. So it's fine. My spice blend was good. It just mine needed a little more salt and just a little bit of more nuance. But
I will tell you that
I'm sorry.
What'd you get?
Tony's.
Oh, the flavors are good.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Eat on that. The flavors are good. The shrimp is perfectly cooked. The rice is perfectly cooked.
Yeah, talk about the good stuff. I'm going to try it without. That ruined it. I'm sorry. That ruined everything. I can't even eat it. It's so salty. So I'm going to go back to mine. And let's see. Oh, my gosh.
I'm very happy with it.
It's very good. There's no issues here. Except that, I mean, it needs to be cooked a little bit easier and better. Oh, I'm not eating slap your mama, so what? Slap the pepper?
Slap your husband?
Slap the pepper?
Slap your husband?
No.
Don't do that.
No. This is delicious.
I'm almost finished with my bowl. I love it.
Yeah. Shrimp are perfect. As it sits, I think it's actually getting better.
It is.
Still not as thick as I would want, but it's delicious. I would say I'm going to work on this.
Mayor said give it to a neighbor.
Oh boy, I really screwed up my bread now. Well, I'm going to show you what happens when you don't pay attention. It's crouton time.
All right.
All right. Crouton time. Yeah, I didn't pay attention. That's good though.
Yeah, so Kat's saying
Ooh.
that this should thicken up overnight, which
It
makes
will.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's already thicker. It's almost where it should be right now.
Yeah. This bread is
And
good.
the flavors, I think the flavor's perfect.
I think that's pretty good. Well, what am I going to do with this? You want to take it to work?
Yeah, I'll take it to work.
Okay. Because I'm going to throw it in the trash if not. Okay.
And what we don't eat here, I'll take to work because
Okay.
John will love it.
Okay. So I'm not a Tony. What is it called? Tony Chachery? Tony.
Shasher? I don't know.
How do you even say that? Anyway, I'm not a fan of the Tony's Creole seasoning. So I won't be using that again. But I am a fan of this dish. So I'm gonna have to play around with it and see what I can come up with to make it a little bit easier for everybody. Because I have a feeling this could be a very easy dish to make. And if I did a cheater roux, I could pressure cook it. And I think that's going to be the way to go.
I think the big question is going to be, can we call it etouffee without getting everybody coming at us? Like when we did the gumbo and the jambalaya.
Well, I mean, I could call it Louise's hot pot of mess with shrimp with a little bit of seasoning. Would anybody look that up?
No.
I don't know. You saw it here first. I don't know. What are we going to call it? I don't know. It
I
is a shrimp etouffee. I mean, it's just different. It's just.
don't even think it's that different. I think it was a different
No,
approach.
yeah.
I think it was a different approach to get to where you
Saturate,
needed.
Tony Saturate.
Saturate.
Yeah, I've heard the name a lot. Yeah, Tangi says I say throw away. It's high blood pressure in a container. It's pretty rough.
Saturate.
It's pretty rough. That stuff is. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not trying to offend anyone or anything like that, but it's pretty rough. I love salt. I mean, I love salt. I cook with salt. People often accuse me of using too much salt in my cooking. That is over the top, horrible saltiness.
That's like
It's like a salt lick. I
yeah.
feel like
If you've ever tasted a horse salt lick,
yeah. No, I
have.
I can imagine.
yeah, they are like it's pure sea salt, straight up in your face.
It's bad. It's bad. Okay. All right. Bonnie says, I'll be happy to see your improvements on this. I would truly like to make this. What kind of rice did you use? He bought me a white.
It's a long grain
white rice. Yeah.
And that was because of a quick Google search. It said,
Yeah.
I looked up what kind of rice do you serve with it, and it
Yeah.
said long grain.
Yeah.
So
Just white,
I got long
white
grain.
rice. I think, I think this is going to be good. And I think it's going to be easy to make. Really. I just have to be a little bit truer to the roots and the heritage. And I think I'm going to flip the script a little bit and just do it differently.
Do you think you would start with the roux and build a nice roux and then add the Holy Trinity?
No. I would cook the vegetables, add the flour, make the roux. I could then pull that out. I mean, I could pull that out and then put in the rest of the ingredients, pressure cook, keep the roux out, add the roux back in at the end to thicken it. I could do that.
But because you like to do one pot.
I like to do them a little bit easier than that. But I mean, there's lots of options. There is lots of options for
Your
this.
croutons are good.
And it's totally worth doing. Totally worth doing. Oh, and Jill says tomorrow add coconut milk to the dish and change it up. You know what? That totally would too. And I love doing those things. Like I love taking one dish and then making it into something completely different. And you're right.
And that's a great idea.
And it's a great idea.
And we've got tons of really good coconut milk.
And I bet that would be absolutely delicious. I mean, totally different, but absolutely delicious. Yeah, it's gonna thicken up overnight. It's already thicker. I mean, it's probably already about the thickness.
It's getting closer to a pasta sauce.
Yeah.
A spaghetti sauce, which is what people say.
Yeah.
It's definitely more stew than soup at this point. And
yeah, definitely. So we're on the right path.
Well,
It'll be fine.
For what it's worth,
it's gonna be delicious. We're gonna eat the leftovers tomorrow for sure.
For what it's worth, shrimp is not a dinner to me.
I know.
But this is incredible, and it's dinner.
Yay! I make shrimp scampi. I'm like, Jeff, can I make shrimp scampi? He's like, shrimp is not really food. It's not really dinner. I mean, he thinks it's food. It's like an appetizer. And I'm like, well, if I make shrimp scampi, I mean, it's a whole dish. And he's like, nah. So when he goes traveling, I make shrimp scampi. I haven't made that in years, though. I haven't made shrimp scampi in a long time. Got a really good recipe, too. I'll have to make it again. Well, but anyway.
I'm leaving on Monday for a couple days. So
that's right. But I used all the shrimp.
Scampi.
I wouldn't use those shrimp for shrimp scampi anyway. All right. Kat, I think it's fine freeze-dried. I think it would be absolutely fine freeze-dried. In fact, I think it would be brilliant freeze-dried.
I have a feeling it's going to go into our next round of freeze-drying.
I don't know, Jeff. There's not that much, and it's delicious. So I have a feeling we'll eat it.
Yeah, I think
we're going to eat it. I really do. So with the freeze dryer, I've done all kinds of things. Like I've done, I do a marinara sauce. So I made a quadruple batch in the pressure cooker, and then I freeze dried it. And I'm going to be able to have powdered marinara, and you just mix it with water, and you have fresh marinara anytime you want it. I also did my raspberry barbecue sauce, which I have not even tested out yet. So like I am loving the freeze dryer. This is raspberry barbecue sauce. Get me a little tiny bowl there, huh?
Yeah.
And I think I have enough water.
You want some? Oh, you need some more water?
No, I don't think so. I'm just gonna make a little bit. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in there.
All this stuff back here, by the way, is all freeze dried.
Yeah, all that's freeze dried. So I think this would freeze dry great. I've got soup chowder freeze drying now. The freeze dryer has been a lifesaver for me because I don't have any more room in my. Oops, I might have done too much. I don't have any more room in my freezer, so I definitely did too much water there.
All right, here, get some more stuff.
Yeah. So this is just such a saver in space and everything. So I did the chicken riggies, Kat. I've done pretty much, everything, right, Jeff? I mean, I freeze dried just about everything. I just did blue cheese dressing. Oh, as a matter of fact,
it's going right now.
It's out. Will you grab that? I never did grab it out of there. It was cooling down a little bit, just sitting in that room.
Oh.
So one of the things, like I like to make my own homemade sauces and condiments and all that kind of stuff. But when I want to eat them, I don't feel like necessarily making a batch. And like, let's say I just have, a couple ribs that I want to serve with raspberry sauce. This way I can just have it powdered and then just mix it up. Same with salad dressings, because I like homemade salad dressings. So this is the freeze-dried what do you call it? Blue cheese dressing. It's a homemade blue cheese dressing that I put in the freeze dryer. So now I'm going to powder it up. I'll put it into a container. So let me get this out of the way because I don't want any moisture to get into that.
Here, let me put it up.
I'll put That's good. And then I have just a little bit. I won't make the mistake I did and put too much in. All right. So Jeff, you want to let this sit and taste that to see? No,
and which is that?
That's the raspberry sauce.
Oh.
So I haven't tasted that yet. I just did this. And then this would be the blueberry dressing. Oh my goodness. This would be the blue cheese dressing. which I would probably whisk a little bit.
And I will say, going into it, it was very blue.
Oh,
It was strong to going into it.
something has happened to it. It's better.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know, but for me, it's still. I'm not a big blue cheese.
Oh, I love it. Here, did you try this?
Oh, let me try that.
So this is the raspberry
I'm gonna need
sauce.
that to clean my palate after that blue cheese.
It needs to sit a minute. Oh my God, that's good. Oh, that's so good.
A little gritty still, but
Yeah. And the grittiness might be.
it wouldn't even matter if you put that over ribs.
Oh, it'd be so good.
It would be like a dry and a wet
my
together. It's delicious.
Bonnie's got a
my.
great question. Is there
Bonnie.
Bonnie, is there any Hey Ronald, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Bonnie, is there a way to freeze dry without a freeze dryer? Well, technically there is, because you actually freeze dry over a period of time in your freezer through sublimation, but it takes so darn long and you don't end up with the quality. So have you ever gotten out, like let's say you put a pork chop or something into your freezer and you left it there for years and years and years and years and years. And you take it out and it is like, it's frozen, but it's dry as a bone, right? Through sublimation of the moistures come out. And so you can freeze dry in a freezer, but I don't recommend it. It takes way too long. So it just wouldn't be worth it. But you technically can. And there's also people who have done freeze drying, like with little setups, but it's not the same as this machine. But the machine is expensive.
It creates
unfortunately.
a super duper vacuum, which.
Yes. So that's why instead of waiting 5 years for your pork to be freeze dried, you wait a day or two, right? So it's totally different. Oh, George says, oh, come on. Pork chops again. That's right. Pork chops are on my mind.
Yeah.
So freeze drying. I don't think it's worth it for anybody unless they produce the amount of food that I do, or they have a very large family and they want to prep food ahead of time for quick dinners. Otherwise, it's a long process, although it's hands off. It is. I don't know what else to say about it. It's not hard to do.
I would say for any homemade sauces that you want to last for a long time, that's the ideal situation, at least for us.
It is for us.
Because all the barbecue sauces and things like that we want to, and we could travel with them. And I actually did a little research and found out we could take all of this stuff to Australia with us as long as you declare it.
Oh, because it has no moisture in it?
There's no moisture.
Interesting. I don't know if I would.
Now, what I will say is a lot of people that, like my introduction to freeze drying was through candy.
Yeah.
I can't stand freeze dried candy. It's way too sweet.
It is. There are some taste differences that occur, but usually when you dilute it with water, so like if I did this and freeze dried this, it would just be, like the shrimp would still be intact, the vegetables would still be intact, but if you crushed it up, they would just powder, right? So you have to be careful. But then all of the sauce would be like powder form. And you can put it into a bag with the oxygen absorber. You can put it into a jar, and then you rehydrate it with water. Now, I haven't gotten so technical. I am trying to get technical by weighing the trays and finding out, how much moisture's been removed from the food. And then I can break it down into 4 ounces of sauce, 4 ounces of sauce dehydrated would be a lot. So 4 ounces of hydrated sauce becomes how many ounces of freeze-dried sauce, and how much liquid do I need to add to get the perfect consistency?
And how long do you need to let that liquid sit in there? Because texture has become a huge thing.
Yeah.
Even that barbecue sauce, which tastes perfect.
It tastes perfect.
The texture is not quite right.
It's not exactly the way it is when you first make it.
tasted great,
it
but the
did.
texture made me spit it out.
Yeah, the texture was a little too grainy. So yeah, Kat, and if you cook a lot and you waste a lot of food, that's what I was doing. I was wasting so much food. So for me, it's worth it. For me, it's totally worth the investment. But I cook for a living too, right? So yeah, I love it. I love it. But it's
I think
a
our
pricey
waste
thing.
has dropped. Like we've thrown away good food that we knew was going to get thrown away if I took it to work or
Oh
something.
yeah.
So now we're freeze drying it.
I'm trying to find where it is. I don't see it right here, but I was testing a recipe for chicken the other day. I don't know where it is. It might be in the other room, but that's okay. I was testing a recipe for chicken the other day, and it was a whole chicken. And I don't usually make bone broth with just one chicken. I usually wait until I have several. But this time I'm just out of freezer space. So I said, that's okay. I can make bone broth. I'll just make a little bit of it. I'll just put in a cup of water or something like that, and I'll pressure cook for a really long time because you don't have that many bones, so you can't make a large batch. So I did that. And then I was like, okay, so now I've got this. Now am I going to freeze this? No, I'm going to freeze dry it. So now I have freeze dried bone broth that is just like the granules that you get from the store. If you buy, or the whatever, what do you call, except mine doesn't have salt in it. Mine doesn't have any of that stuff in it. So I can salt to taste when I want to. But what is that stuff called? I can't even remember. It's not like better than bouillon because that's more pasty, right? What do you call that stuff? Beef cubes and chicken cubes? I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, if you let me know, I can't remember what it's called. They're little bouillon cube. Bouillon. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
George says, Jeff, you're a pilot. Fly over to Scotland and I'll eat Louise's leftovers.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'll put them on a plane over to you.
I'll get in the Piper Arrow and fly about 100
days?
miles offshore and then run out of gas.
Well, no.
Yeah, more than that. I can go more than that.
Yeah. Well, I would say you probably could do it.
I'd probably right out into shark territory and then run out of fuel.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
Trying to think
that
though
doesn't
if you
sound
could
like fun.
go hop or something.
Well, the best way to do it would
He's
be
not flying to Scotland.
Nova Scotia up to Greenland and then down through Denmark.
He's not flying. He's flying to Scotland. No.
George, I'll see you next week, buddy.
That's it. Yep. We're gonna go.
I'm on my way, George.
On. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks again for a lovely Tasty Tuesday. And I wouldn't tell you guys to run out and do this like I did, but it is very easy. I did not realize how easy this was to make. I thought it was going to be complicated and labor intensive. It is not. And I really do think that I can get a recipe out. So I'm going to put that on my list of things to start testing, and we will get a recipe out as soon as possible.
And for the people that are still here, the reason we came up with this is because etouffee had been on my mind for a while because we've talked about, we've done a gumbo, we've done a, what's the other one?
Jambalaya.
The jambalaya. And we hadn't done an etouffee, and I didn't have anything else to do.
Right.
As far as recipes. So if anybody that's still here or anybody that's watching, it doesn't matter.
Ideas.
Even if you're watching a replay, if you have any recipe ideas, email me, jeff@thesaltedpepper.com. I will reply to you. And I think I've got one more recipe that's in there. So if that person is watching, I haven't forgotten about you. Let me know what you want.
Yeah,
we'll try
definitely.
to make it happen.
It'll be fun. All right, what's coming out next? Let's just tell them what's coming out on Sunday. Is it what is it?
Well,
is it Italian bread or is
we've got the Italian bread, and I'll look at our list.
I don't remember. Oh my gosh. Etouffee has been on my mind. Jeff, that sounds like a song you need to create. Etouffee on my mind. That's so funny. Crunch wraps.
Yeah, I'll have to do that one in a
Good night, Craig.
In a New Orleans style jazz.
Crunch wraps are good.
What are crunch wraps?
I I mean, I would say that they're like they're a Mexican, I guess, a Mexican American take on a burrito, but you've got a crunch in them. You've got crunch. So I think it's made with what, a crunchy tortilla. Well, haven't you had one?
Oh yeah, they're like, it's got the,
I mean, there's a
soft flour on the outside, and
but
then it's a crunchy corn on the inside.
Yeah, but aren't they fried almost like a chimichanga?
I think it's Taco Bell's way of just taking a bunch of things and sticking them together and calling them food.
I love the crunch. I love it.
I don't like it.
All
right, so coming out on, I don't know if
but you like your burgeritos.
Yeah, but they're not from Taco Bell.
We don't do burgeritos anymore. We need to do a burgerito.
We need to do a video on a burgerito.
Yeah, we need to do burgeritos.
So Friday, you've got smoked butter scheduled. I don't know if that's coming out.
I don't know yet because I have to take a picture.
And then on Sunday is the Italian bread.
Okay, Italian bread
in the Ninja Combi.
In the Ninja Combi. That's coming out on Sunday. And then I got a couple soup recipes. So anyway, we've got some things coming out for you guys that hopefully you will like. And I'm going to get this on. I think this would be like a really good, probably like after the holidays, good recipe to put on like in January, February.
Once we perfect it.
Yeah, we got to perfect it, definitely.
All right, so Kat has one more comment before you leave.
Before you leave, Louise, I have a question. I just did my final stretch and fold. I was thinking about leaving it out on the counter overnight and finishing tomorrow. What would you do? I would shape it. So if you've done your stretch and fold, now I would shape it and I would put it in the refrigerator overnight, because I think if you leave it on the counter overnight, it's going to go over. It's going to overproof, I think. So yeah, that's what I would do. Do a dessert one night. Oh, Joni, will you grab the whoopie pies?
Oh yeah.
We'll have dessert right now with you. So I am working on this recipe too.
Are they out here?
They're in the refrigerator in there. And I meant to get one out before we went live, because I was planning on sharing this and then I didn't. So it's going to be a little bit hard because it's been in the refrigerator. But I'm making apple cider whoopie pies. They are so good, but they're a little too sweet right now. So I'm working on getting that kind of toned down a little bit, but they are so good. And I'm hoping I can make the filling a little bit. It's easy to make, but it's a Swiss buttercream. It's an apple cider Swiss buttercream. But these are the whoopie pies. And so it's an apple cider.
Put it down by the cutting board. I'll get a shot of it.
It's an apple cider cookie, double, obviously. And then it's filled with apple cider buttercream, which normally shouldn't be hard like this, but it's hard because it's been in the refrigerator. They are so good. You want to bite?
Yeah. Does it still have that punch?
Yeah. It kicks you right back here.
Mm-hmm. Just like a Granny Smith.
Just like a Granny Smith apple. Mm. But I think I can improve it. So I'm going to try to improve it. It's a little too sweet.
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't think so?
I don't think they're too sweet now.
I'm a little puckery.
They're tart.
I'm a little puckered.
They're tart in an apple-y way, but they're not too sweet. I want another bite. Those are so good.
Yeah, good. I'm going to try to put applesauce in them. Oops. Nope, the dog's got it. There's something about the cookie that I need to balance better. So anyway, that's going to hopefully come out. Oh my gosh. I mean, you get that like pucker from a sour apple. They're good.
It is absolutely.
I think they might need a little more
sour apple.
Do you think they need a little more spice? And I don't mean heat.
No, I mean nutmeg maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking nutmeg. Something just a little more cidery, you know? Anyway, all right. I could sit here and talk about food all night long, but now we've got to clean up because that's the next step after you cook, isn't it? The bad part of it. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to put the food away, but this is not a fail. This is a win. It just needs modifications, and then I will get the recipe out to you guys when I do.
And I don't even think the flavor is the problem. I think it's the process.
Absolutely. I don't think the flavor is a problem either. I think the process just needs to be a little bit fine-tuned.
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
All right,
guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week for Q&A.
Bye, everybody.